The screen is visible to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It's a 1 minute video. You can just concentrate. Any reflections? It's just a minute. I can just show it once more for those who have missed it.
Created using Powtoon.
There is a hiring drive. 3 qualified employees apply of various categories, of which one is having military experience. Sam loves the veterans and seems to be very much carried away with the idea and he hires that person, assuming it to be disciplined and handleable, giving great productivity. So Sam is having a military stereotype mindset. What happens later? After 2 months means in distress because the person hired is always late, unprofessional and unproductive. Yes. Reflections fast.
Yes, ma'am. I think due to his experience in military, the employer assumed that he will be in discipline and other his qualities. But later on, I think he was very unprofessional.
Hmm.
And I mean, the expectations was not fulfilled. And
Okay.
I think they have judged by their maybe looks and their experience.
Yes. So in this video, Sam wants to hire employee. He hires a military background candidate. As rightly mentioned, yes, he was assuming the fact that these are disciplined personalities because we have some kind of predispositions and preconceived notions, and our idea we map it to the judgment, and accordingly we actually try to attribute that personality. Okay, so I'm talking about the attribute theory, which is the point left in perception. So what is attribution theory? Basically, attribution theory aids in perceptual interpretation by focusing on how people attempt to understand the cause of a certain event, assess the responsibility of the outcome, and evaluate the personal qualities of the people involved in the event. So here in this case, Sam is trying to map the personal qualities of a particular military background होने वाला आदमी जो है उसको उसने सिलेक्ट किया एंड बाकी दो लोगों को रिजेक्ट किया. तो ये करते वक्त सैम ने एट्रीब्यूट किया, पर्सनल क्वालिटी मैप किया वो आदमी के ऊपर. So basically, attribution theory is about how people explain the things. It's concerned with how ordinary people explain the causes of behavior and events that happen. For example, in someone, if is someone angry because they had bad temper or because something bad had happened, we are trying to map the event and happenings to the patterns and behavioral traits and tantrums which come up. Okay, because we have assumed something, we are mapping it with, connecting it with some kind of a event and quality of a particular person. Okay, behavior of a person and happening of an event, there is some kind of a relationship which is mentioned over here in attribution theory. Okay, because when we talk about, okay, हम गाड़ी से जा रहे थे, कोई अचानक से अपने सामने आ गया. Okay, तो we have so many perceptions in our mind. हम अट्रीब्यूट करते हैं कि ये वी ट्राई टू रिएक्ट, हमारा वी गेट एंग्री. ओके, और हमारे एंगर का बैकग्राउंड क्या है? दैट पर्सन केम इन द मिडल ऑफ द रोड व्हाइल यू आर ड्राइविंग, unaware of you. Okay, from the wrong side he bumps in front of you and goes off. Okay, so many thought process might have evolved in your mind. क्यों हुआ ऐसे? Any reflections? Any reflections, friends? It's a usual scenario when you drive and somebody, you know, comes in front of you and just speeds up and go away. What are your emotions? Definitely maximum of y'all will become angry, agitated, because we have in our mindset, I mean not all but most of us, okay, considering that he is first of all breaking the rules, secondly unaware of, he's totally being so careless, that person is banging in front of you and going away, he's a ruthless driver, okay, reckless driver, and obviously ruthless too, okay. So you may have certain temperaments which will evaluate that person because of that event which has taken place. That person has come in front of you while driving from a wrong side, okay, and bang on he went away as well, okay. Now we will get angry. This is one part of the story. Second would be, if I have a controlled my feelings, I will have the attribution in a different way. My attribution in the second case would be, I will think for a while, probably there might have been some medical emergency because of which that person might have, gone that way. Okay, probably to calm myself. Okay, so this is what we can say attribution theory, because it is the manner we actually, interpret the things. Here is another way to understand attribution theory. It explains the causes of the behavior and events. We credit that behavior either to a situation or to the other person's internal dispositions. Okay, here you can see Billy is bully because his parents treated him badly and he learned it from them. Okay, because that's why he's become a stubborn child. Or is Billy a bully because he is just naturally a jerk? तो उसकी इनबिल्ट क्वालिटी है, ये इवॉल्व हुई है. We try to relate it and attribute it. This video you all are going to see at home. Okay, it's a 3 minutes video where people find and assign cause to certain other people's behavior, their own behavior, and the events that occur. This impacts our current and future thoughts, feelings, and pattern of behavior. Okay, कोई भी एक इंसिडेंस हमारे चाइल्डहुड में या अभी के केस में अगर कुछ होता है, तो वी ट्राई टू have that pattern set in our mind, and then later on we attribute it to the events happening in our near future also. Ki probably we relate it, and accordingly we become judgmental. Okay, this is another 2 minutes video, you can see it at home, which is related with attribution theory and decision making. It explains attribute theory basics, internal and external causes. Probably 2 minutes we can see this over here as well. I'll try to. Let's see. Is the screen visible?
Madam, I think we can see your PPT presentation only.
Okay. Now it's visible?
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Batul and today we are going to learn a very interesting theory. So what are you waiting for? Let's start learning. Attribution theory. Attribution theory tries to explain the ways in which we judge people differently, depending on the meaning we attribute to a given behavior. When we observe someone, we try to understand that whether their behavior was internally or externally caused. Internally caused behavior are under the control of the individual. And externally caused behavior are not under the individual's control. Susan is one of the best employees the company have. She is confident, passionate and is always ready to accept challenges. But lately, she's not performing well. Her boss thinks that she is being lazy and is not taking interest in her work anymore. But in actual, she is stressed as her husband is sick. And she has to take care of him and has to manage everything alone. Causation is judged through number 1 distinctiveness, number 2 consensus, number 3 consistency. Distinctiveness shows different behavior in different situation. Consensus is the response which is the same as others in the same situation. Consistency is to respond in the same way over time. Fundamental attribution error. It is the tendency to underestimate the influence of external factors and overestimate the influence of internal factors, when making judgments about the behavior of others.
Why aren't the sales increasing? Why are you people being so lazy?
But sir, the competition is getting tough. We need to introduce new products.
See the factors.
Self-serving bias. It is the tendency of people to attribute their success to internal factors and while putting the blame for failures to external factors. If Nikki gets promoted by her boss, she claims that she worked hard for that position and she deserves it. But if she is not promoted, then she complains about her boss being biased. Thank you so much for watching.
So that was about screen is visible. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So that was about the attribution theory and the internal and external factors which affect how we actually relate things that are happening around us with the with certain factors and characteristics. Accordingly, it affects the decision because we make choices. Okay, so it hampers the further incidences which happen. It hampers the decision making ability because we become judgmental based on certain attribute. Okay, we attribute the thing, we interpret it in a different way, okay, based on the influences of internal and external factors which happen over here in Susan's case as well. So here we talked about distinctiveness, which shows different behavior in different situations. So we as a single individual act differently. Not necessarily we may be the same person if we come across this situation later as well. Okay, so distinctiveness shows different behavior in different situation. Consensus is the response which is same as others in the same situation. So it may be the case that we usually tend to say की तुझ्या जागी मी असतो तर असंच वागलो असतो. We tend to hear this conversation that if I would have been in your place, I would have reacted in the same manner. So that is consensus because we actually agree upon a particular behavioral response. Consistency is to respond in the same way over time. That is, you know that you have formed one stable judgment, okay, about this particular pattern we are going to act in this way. So that is a consistency. Our response is stable. We are assuring ourselves this is a controlled way of responding to a similar situation every time it comes ahead. So here we saw about one example wherein the boss says that why aren't the sale increasing? Why you people are so lazy? So he's attributing to the laziness of the employees. Whereas the fact is the competition is getting tough and we are falling short of the good product line. See, this is a typical scenario in a marketing team. Okay, wherein the targets are set and the team members are not struggling to achieve them. So in a typical scenario, or probably if you're studying for your exams and you're not managing your time properly, okay, you say okay nahi ho pa raha hai, nahi ho pa raha hai. But then there is somewhere something going wrong with your time management as well. So you need to actually see the intrinsic as well as the extrinsic factors, intrinsic which are within your control and extrinsic which are in the environment. So most of the time, the internal factors are more controllable because they are in your hand. Then we saw about self-serving biases. That is the tendency of people to attribute that their success to internal factors while putting the blame for failures to the external factors. I have won it because I performed well. I achieved the target because I struggled. I have worked day and night. It is my achievement. But when you actually fail in something, you start blaming others, the circumstances, other people, certain other environmental factors for that particular event. So this is self-serving bias. And then we talked about attribution error also. That is, your reaction indicates your attribution type. Either it's external or internal, and it is this attribution theory actually helps us to rectify the attribution error within us. आपके बिहेवियरल पैटर्न का ये एक एरर रिजॉल्व करने का काम यहाँ पे हो रहा है. मतलब यू आर गेटिंग एन अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ व्हाट द एरर इज बेसिकली, बिकॉज नाउ यू विल गेट एन अंडरस्टैंडिंग. अभी आप अगर रोड पे जाओगे और कोई सिमिलर एक्ट आपके सामने हो जाएगा, you will definitely behave in a different way. You will not lose your tempo. Okay, so it is your reaction that indicates your attribution type. So you're driving and suddenly someone cuts the lane and overtakes your car and goes in speed ahead. What's your reaction? I just mentioned. So your reaction reflects your attribution. So your reaction to this event depends upon how you attribute cause to this event, whether negative or positive. Accordingly, it will affect. So what causes certain behavior? It could be based on internal attribution or external attribution. Internal attribution, it is something within the person we observe, that is their personality. And external attribution is it is caused by something outside the person we observe, their situation or the circumstances or other environmental factors. So we make a dispositional attribute in terms of internal attribution, and we make a situational attribution in terms of external attribution. So you need to understand these two types of attribution that causes certain behavior, that is internal attribution and external attribution. We just talked about in the earlier example of Suzanne, wherein distinctiveness, consensus and consistency also we mentioned about. It is actually based on Kelly's model. Distinctiveness, the consideration given to how consistent a person's behavior is across different situations. You are distinct, you are unique. How uniquely you are actually responding. Consistency refers to measure of whether an individual responds the same way across the time, in the same manner, consistently, repetitively. And consensus, it refers to the likelihood that all those facing the same situation will similar respond. You and I are in the same boat. Okay, that is consensus. We agree upon it. The perceptual process, this is the last point with the perception topic in the second unit. So basically we need to concentrate on our senses. When we talk about senses, they are the triggering aspects now. In the earlier slide, when I say that your reaction is leading to attribution. Okay, so when we talk about reaction specifically, when you consider as an individual, your internal factors, when we talk about your internal factor, one of the important part is the sensory, which we have, which triggers the temperament. So environmental stimuli also are equally important. The way we actually react to the sense with the help of our senses, that is the sensation, such as feeling, hearing, seeing, smelling and tasting, and how we react to it. So environmental stimuli that actually impacts our body senses. Second would be the selection. Okay, individuals value and belief act on it, because when we talk about this environmental stimuli, we may have controlled nature. No matter how often we cross that lane and it is really a stingy smell, we definitely, एक बार हो गया, दो बार हो गया, later on we become habitual to it. We actually generate that controlling aspect. Sometimes it is deliberately, sometimes we become habitual. Okay, so with time, with maturity, or with the similar pattern getting repeated, we may develop controlled nature. So it's up to us to have that selective attention. So you may hear and you may ignore, you may see, you may ignore, you may smell, you may ignore, you may taste, you may ignore. Okay, the way you respond, the reaction, the attribution affects. Perceptual organization, with respect to the organization, the context in which you are reacting, whether it is a personal perspective or a workplace perspective, you will definitely analyze the situation and then react to it. Okay, and then your emotions and behaviors as well play an important role in which is called as a translation process, so that that reaction actually takes place. तो अपना परसेप्शन, प्री कंसीव्ड नोशन जो अपने हैं, वो किस तरह से काम कर रहा है यहाँ पे दिखाई दे रहा है कि आपके सेंसेशंस जो होते हैं वो स्ट्रांग होते हैं, whether they are controlled or not, based on that your actual reaction will affect. Okay, based on your selective attention, क्योंकि sensation अपना काम करेगा, it will stimuli, it will trigger the sensations. Now the way you react will depend upon how you actually control your selective attention, and then you also analyze the context in which that thing is happening, that event is happening, and then you actually your emotions and your behavioral pattern works on these aspects, and then that reaction actually takes place, that perceptual process actually takes place. So here we saw about sensation and individual's ability to detect the trigger in the immediate environment. Selection, the process a person uses to eliminate some of the stimuli that have been sensed and to retain others for further processing. We filter it out. Organization is the context I talked about, the process of placing selected perceptual stimuli into a framework for storage, that is selection and then filtration in a particular context. क्योंकि हम अगर कोई सपोज किसी ने डाटा, अगर घर का माहौल हो तो हम डिफरेंट तरीके से रिएक्ट करते हैं, अगर वर्क प्लेस का माहौल हो या कोई फॉर्मल प्लेस हो, वी डोंट रिएक्ट इन द सिमिलर वे. वी आर गेटिंग दैट अवेयरनेस of the organization or the structure in which we are actually experiencing that particular event. And then this translation, the stage of the perceptual process at which stimuli are interpreted and given the meaning, that is your reaction comes out, is explicitly seen. So this is the process. You can have a look. Receiving the stimuli or triggers, it could be from internal or external. हमारा खुद का टेम्पर भी हो सकता है या कोई कोई एनवायरमेंटल फैक्टर भी हो सकता है, दैट इज द स्टिमुलाई. ओके, selecting the stimuli, that is selective perception. External factors could be nature, location, size, contrast, movement, repetition, similarity, whereas internal factors could be हमारा age, हमारा interest, हमारा learning process, हमारे needs. ये हमारे internal factors हो सकते हैं जो हमारे controlling factors हैं, हमारा temperament control करते हैं ये. Organization is the context, we can say, wherein we figure out the background, we actually do perceptual grouping, we try to map the similarities, proximity, closure, continuity, and then we actually go on interpreting so that we react later on. Interpreting is actually attribution, stereotyping, halo effect, and projection. Basically, all these effects are seen if you recall all that we have actually seen earlier. Okay, because when we talk about people, we behave based on the environmental circumstances, we say, and we have our preconceived notions, we say. Okay, so simply put, these are the after effects based on our interpretation. Okay, हमारा understanding होता है कि जो भी causes of past event है, ये influence होता है हमारे future actions में. तो ये interpretation का जो step है, this is very very important when we actually either be judgmental, or we may have some preconceived notions, or we have certain patterns. So based upon the various types which we have seen in the earlier session, it could be attribution, it could be stereotyping, halo effect, Pygmalion effect, projection, contrast. Based on that we interpret, and then we actually react. It could be visible or it could be hidden. That is our response based on our attitude, हमारी motivation level, हमारा feeling, and हमारा behavioral pattern. That is the perceptual process. These are the factors influencing the perception. You can see the factors. typically when we talk about say example consumer behavior, ये marketing workplace का example है. We can see this, you'll understand it much better than visualizing this screen. Give me a second. So we are talking about the perception and the factors influencing. We'll see one of the workplace example here. I hope it's visible and audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. You'll understand this relationship, how in workplace it affects. हम जो भी बातें अभी कर रहे हैं, पढ़ रहे हैं. So we have seen here in this particular 1 minute video wherein the consumer behavior is being affected by various aspects. Okay, so this one of the predominant aspect is the psychological aspect. Wherein when we talk about the psychological aspect, the psychological factors such as the social factors, cultural factors, personal factors, and economical factors. These are the 5 major factors that influences the consumer behavior. I hope, I mean, those who are in working will understand this much better, but those who are not working, just a explanation over here, that is consumer behavior. When we talk about, it's like we the customer, we are the consumers, the clients. So no matter in whichever area of work you are, definitely this is going to be a common understanding we need to understand. That is, when we talk ourselves as client, or if we are having any unit, maybe a manufacturing unit or a service unit, there are our clients. So how the behavior of the customer is affecting, because that understanding will help us decide, define, frame our strategies, either in improving the sales or either in finding some problems which is happening. So suppose I say that the market is low. How the market is low, how you will understand it? Based on the consumer behavior, you'll observe the consumer behavior, and then you'll come to a conclusion and decide your tactics further कि हम आगे क्या करना चाहिए हमको. फॉर एग्जाम्पल ये पैंडमिक तो बहुत अचानक से आ गया पिछले साल, राइट, बट नाउ हम संभल रहे हैं. लेकिन लास्ट ईयर इफ यू विल रिकॉल, so many companies have gone bankrupt. Those who have survived might have actually given a close watch on consumer behavior, how the clients are reacting to which kind of product. So definitely, just to name a few, the the business, say pharmacy, or the business of say retailing of food. Okay, probably these two businesses people might have observed, and now they are really doing well because they have sustained, because of identifying the influences that have been happening on the consumer behavior. So it could be that particular locational aspect based on which the psychology of the consumers, based on the pandemic situation, and accordingly how social, cultural, and other factors, economic factors and personal factors are affecting. That's what we saw in this particular video. So these factors are definitely helping us understand how we can actually respond to a particular situation in our workplace. Okay? And apart from this, the way we react also depends upon our perception, our motivation level, okay, our earlier upbringing, our cultural factors that will keep our moral values, our traditions. Okay, all these are going to affect our decisions, our observations, our applications, our choices, all will affect. And apart from that, हमारा maturity and age as well. And lastly, the economic factors on our income level and our what is our buying capacity. So that was regarding the factors influencing our perception. So buying and having that client example is one particular aspect of it in sales and marketing perspective. Okay, or under maybe I am a manufacturer and I want to decide my further product line. I need to understand the consumer behavior in my locality or my market. My market could be a local market, or my marketplace would be in Dubai, or my marketplace would be in the other part of the world. Anywhere it could be. So how I'm going to react, I need to understand all the factors and accordingly make my perception. So please remember, perception is not only helping you to understand yourself, that self awareness जो मैंने बताया पिछले sessions में, but as well it is helping us to actually put into a formal context of whichever work area we are there, and from that domain we can actually build our perception so that we actually respond in a better way, react in a better way. So it is always good to know what are the different factors that are influencing my perception, okay, or the other person's perception. So factors in a perceiver, it would be attitude, motive, interest, experience, and expectations. Factors in a situation would be time and the work and the social settings. And factors in the target would be the newness or novelty, motion, sound, size, background, proximity, similarity. Such are the factors we need to understand and keep in our mind while attributing certain things. The specific application in organization, now you can observe here, application of where these perceptions work. So here it would be employee interview, employee effort, ethnic profiling, and performance evaluation. We'll see one of them. Okay, implement employment interview. During an interview, the interviewers make a perceptual judgment and draw early impressions. All of y'all might have experienced, or probably few of them will experience in near future. As a result of information elicited early in the interview carries greater weight than does information elicited later. Elicited means what? Interpreted, okay, expressed. So whenever you think of the employment interview, there are perceptions, judgments. Okay, when the moment you enter the interviewing place, okay, you are being observed, and the interviewer will have certain perception based on your appearance, based on whatever documents you have submitted, based upon the way you're walking, based upon your eye contact, based upon how you're actually carrying yourself, and then obviously based upon your interviewer answering skills, communication. So please remember here, the importance of communication is the important thing to open the door. Okay, बाद में sustain करने के लिए skill ही लगता है, लेकिन door open करने के लिए you cannot ignore the communication and your personality grooming. So perception becomes one of the important aspect over here. Performance expectations, we saw it in the Pygmalion effect. The lower or higher performance of employees reflects preconceived leaders' expectations about employees' capabilities. That is the self-fulfilling prophecy we have just seen earlier. Performance evaluation, appraisals are often the subjective or based on our preconceived judgments, perceptions of appraisers of another employee's job performance. Okay, so that is regarding the performance evaluation. Employee effort, Assessment of individual effort is a subjective judgment subject to perception distortion or errors or biased. That is assessment of individual effort. We are prone, we are vulnerable, we can say. We are vulnerable to these judgments. And lastly, ethnic profiling, a form of stereotyping in which a group of individuals is singled out, typically on the basis of race, ethnicity, for intensive inquiry, scrutiny, or investigation. So, this is also something which we need to be very cautious about. We are vulnerable to it. So, a form of stereotyping may happen. So, this is regarding specific application in an organization. Nevertheless, I would always say that when we talk about perception, perception है दुधारी शस्त्र है. दुधारी शस्त्र का because basically perception is helping us in actually understanding the situation and behaving and expressing ourselves or understanding other person. But then if you do it in a proper way, appropriate way, only then it is going to be the best. Otherwise you may land up in trouble or you may land others in trouble. So definitely you need to be aware about perceptions. So here our perception unit part 1 is completed. Here also you can see here we started with a such kind of example illusion picture, and I guess most of you can see only 1 or 2 images. How many images you can see here, friends? Quickly. Quickly, I want the count.
Ma'am, 3.
3.
Most of us actually see the 3, okay, but person like me will also see the other 2 which are hidden above the pillars. Your attention above the pillar, where the at one side the bird is sitting and the other side at the corner of the right edge of the pillar
Yes,
above.
ma'am.
Yeah, that's how it is, because we actually go by bigger things or the things which actually we would like to see or we perceive it. Okay, itne hi rahenge. Okay, if you delve deeper and you take time to analyze the situation, you will be in a better position to actually express yourself, react yourself, and take a better choice, make a better choice. So part 1 of the second unit is completed, and the second part is regarding motivation. I guess motivation is chapter which all of us are very much aware about. Motivation होता क्या है? बहुत लोग डीमोटिवेट होते हैं तो उनको मोटिवेट करना पड़ता है कि चलो सेशन अटेंड करो, सेशन को ध्यान दो, ओके, पढ़ाई करो, ऐसे मोटिवेट करना पड़ता है. जो डीमोटिवेट होते हैं, देयर आर वेरियस फैक्टर्स व्हाई दैट पर्सन हैज गॉट डीमोटिवेटेड. मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट उसका मॉरल हाई या लो है वो देखना पड़ेगा, या फ्लक्चुएटिंग है. अगर लो है तो ऑब्वियसली दैट पर्सन विल नॉट परफॉर्म वेल. तो अगर मुझे पढ़ाई अच्छी करनी है तो आई नीड टू ट्रीट माई सेल्फ. आई यूजुअली हैव अ हैबिट कि अगर कोई इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग हो, आई ट्रीट माई सेल्फ मे बी विद पीस ऑफ अ डार्क चॉकलेट, and I'm motivated, my morale is raised. Okay, I have decided, I have anchored it. ये किसी और सेशन में मैं बताऊंगी कि एंकरिंग क्या होता है. इट्स अ टॉपिक ऑफ NLP, दैट इज न्यूरो लिंग्विस्टिक प्रोग्रामिंग. थोड़ा बहुत जानती हूँ उसके बारे में. तो हमारा एंकरिंग जो होता है वो हमारे पास्ट इवेंट से जुड़ा है. ओके, तो when we talk about motivation, if a person is demotivated, how to raise from that level and regain your motivation back. तो फॉर दैट पर्पज एंकरिंग का एक एक्सरसाइज अगर क्लास होता तो मैं अच्छी तरह से आपको बता पाती, लेकिन यहाँ मैं बताना चाहती हूँ कि देयर आर गुड एंड बैड इवेंट्स दैट हैपन इन आवर लाइव्स. ओके, if you close your eyes and just recall one bad event, if you close your eyes and recall one bad event, okay, and stop and just encash it and recall it, you'll feel really bad. आपका चेहरे अगर एक्सप्रेशन देखो तो भी वो बहुत मायूस हो जाएंगे आप. and then later on you will try to recall it and you'll feel bad. You'll recall it, you'll feel bad. Okay, sometimes you'll even burst into tears. Okay, but then you need to wipe it off. Okay, there are techniques to wipe it off. Maybe sometimes later ये अपने syllabus में नहीं है. Sometimes later when we meet further, sometimes we can actually practice it. Let's think of the positive thing again. Come back to your normal position and close your eyes and again think of some achievement. Okay, you were being given some certificate, or you had a pat on your back, or your mother actually gave you something which was a surprise to you, or your relative, or so your friend. Okay, some event has happened and which has given you the most huge excitement. You are at the happy stage. Okay, and when you actually close your eyes and try to recall that event, at one point of time, just try to visualize it in a instrument color kind of a movie. Get involved in it, and at one point of time, anchor it. Okay, anchor it माने, anchor is some, if you talk about anchoring it, जो ship को shore पे ये करता है, nail down करता है, अपन क्या बोलते हैं उसको, parking of that ship is with the help of that anchor. Okay, so if you are able to recall your happy event, just anchor it and relate it with some color or some feeling or some taste. Like for me, I relate it with a dark chocolate. So whenever I eat the dark chocolate, immediately my anchored event pops up in my mind, and that gives me a happy effect, happy feeling. तो ये बहुत अच्छी तरह से काम करता है, because we are human. This is a psychological experiment I do. Okay, so whenever we actually go through a very bad patch, okay, and you want to do something very important, you shouldn't hamper your task. I recall always when Sachin Tendulkar, I don't remember the year which was it, but he actually hit his 100, his century, okay, on the day which was the third day of his father's death. What kind of motivation level was behind that particular situation? You should understand the theory behind it. But okay, all of us, everyone else cannot be Sachin Tendulkar, but definitely that anchoring thing is possible, and in our own field we can actually excel ahead. So anchoring helps us to recall our past good events specifically, and relate it with some color, relate it with some substance like a chocolate, or relate it with some kind of a emotion. And then once you act, because that should be readily available to you. So I can just get hold of a dark chocolate from a market, come back to my I do it, like even while traveling and I'm going to some event and I'm totally depressed, किसी ने मेरा मोरल डाउन किया है, मुझे बहुत गालियां दी है, मुझे बहुत सप्रेस किया है कि you will not progress ahead, you will be at that level, will not do this, will not do that, some kind of argument हुआ है, and I'm in a depressed position, और आगे जाके मुझे presentation देना है या फिर कोई business meeting है मेरी. I'll sit in my car, eat that dark chocolate, close my eyes, and try to recall that good event, that excitement. I was felicitated. Probably I was, felicitated in the front of 100 crowd or 1,000 crowd. Okay, or probably that was the most important situation in my life. Okay, like in my case, there are two important situations, like birth of my baby. That was the most important excitement, a miracle that happened in my life. I relate that dark chocolate with that event, and I'm happy. I'm back to my normal position. And now I step out of that thing and I go very confidently, motivated, okay, with my moral high, okay, and I enter that particular meeting and I do whatever I was supposed to do. And believe me, this happens because we are human and we are having psychological setup. Okay, so you may practice it sometimes later, and you may relate the anchoring theory. Definitely works. और अगर किसी ने implement करके देखा है, please connect to me on WhatsApp and I'll definitely see how it can be improved. So the second part is with respect to the motivation, and this is the topic which we are going to talk about later. Okay, I'll just move ahead. We have just 15 minutes left. We'll try to see if we can have one or two movie clip of 1 minute. So I would appeal everyone to at least, जब हम एटीट्यूड की बात कर रहे थे तब भी मैंने आपको मेंशन किया था कि डेफिनेटली
Somewhere in the world one day, there were two frogs.
I hope the slide pack is visible back.
Yes, ma'am.
There's one more interesting one. This is another interesting one which I really like.
One day a son goes to his father and says, "Father, what is the value of my life?"
I hope it's visible, all of you all.
And the father gives him the stone and says,
Yes,
"Son,
ma'am.
if you want to know the value of your life, take this stone and go to the market. And if anyone asks the price, don't say a word and raise up 2 fingers." So the boy does as his father says and goes to the market. He wanders around, and suddenly an old woman approaches him and says, "How much is this stone?" And the boy doesn't say a word, just raises up 2 fingers. And the woman says, $2? I'll take it. The son is surprised and runs back to his father. He says, "Father, there was an old woman at the market. She wanted to give me $2 for the stone." And the father says, "Son, the next place I want you to go is to the museum. And if anyone asks the price, don't say a word and raise up 2 fingers." So the son takes the stone and goes to the museum. After about 20 minutes, there is a middle-aged man in a suit who approaches the boy. He says, "Sir, how much is this stone?" The boy doesn't say a word and raises up 2 fingers. And the man says, $200? I'll take it. The boy is surprised and runs home to his father. Father, a man in the museum wanted to buy the stone for $200. Okay, son. The last place I want you to take the stone is a precious stone store. Walk inside with the stone, and if anyone asks the price, don't say a word, just raise up 2 fingers. So the son runs off into the precious stone store. After finding it, he walks inside and there is an old man at the counter. And as the old man sees the stone, he jumps up and screams, "Oh my God, you have the stone I've been looking for my whole life. What do you want for it? How much is it?" The boy doesn't say a word and raises up 2 fingers. And the old man says, $200,000? I'll take it. The boy can't believe it. He jumps up and runs to his father. He says, Father, the old man at the precious stone store wanted to give me $200,000 for the stone." You see, son, you understand now the value of your life? Life is all about where you place yourself. You can decide if you want to be a $2 stone or a $200,000 stone. There are some people who love you and for whom you are everything. And some people will just use you as a commodity, and for them you will be worth nothing. So it is upon you, my son, to decide the value of your life.
So basically, when we actually see such kind of motivational videos, अभी ये video में predominantly, if you recall, we actually have talked about, OK Corral. Do you remember OK Corral? Yes, friends. Do you remember OK Corral? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I hope I.
You You're okay, I'm okay. You're not okay, I'm not okay. You're okay, I'm okay. You're not okay, I'm okay. The four quadrants. Okay. So basically, how you position yourself in your life depends upon, I mean, your not only abilities but your desire, your morale as well. Okay. So you need to be motivated. ये film उसीलिए मैंने दिखाया था कि you need to be motivated to achieve the goal in your life. Okay. So basically, the story over here is about an creative engineer, John Rebling, who was inspired by an idea to build a spectacular bridge connecting New York and Long Island in Manhattan. The bridge experts throughout the world thought that this was impossible and told Roebling to forget the idea. It was just not possible. It was impractical and never be done. Rebling was very highly motivated and he had a good confidence. Okay, could not ignore the vision he had in his mind of this bridge. He thought all the time and felt it can be done. He just had to share the dream with someone. Please note, whenever you want to have two important things over here: number one, dream, and number two, actually mapping the dream with the goal. Please remember, this is very important. If you don't map the dream with the goal, you'll just keep on dreaming and dreaming and dreaming and go nowhere. Okay, so definitely this is important learning over here is you need to have good goal in front of you, and that goal has to be smart, and you need to map it with a dream. After much discussion and persuasion, he managed to convince his son Washington, an upcoming engineer. So Roebling का लड़का है Washington, दोनों engineer है, an upcoming engineer that builds the bridge. Working together for the first time, father and son developed concepts of how it could be accomplished and how the obstacles could be overcome. With greater excitements and inspirations and the headlines of a wild challenge before them, they hired crew and began to build. The project started well, but this is a cursed project. It is. I just googled and I came across this thing that it is really a cursed project. The project started well, but then it was only a few months underway. Tragic accident on the site took the life of John Roebling, and his son was also badly injured and left with certain amount of brain damage, which resulted in him not being able to even walk and talk or even move. We told them so. Crazy men and crazy dreams. It's foolish to chase wild visions. ये हमारे environment से हमको clues मिलते हैं. External influencing factors. लोग बोलते हैं ये सारी बातें. Okay. Everyone had a negative comment to make and felt that the project should be scrapped off since the Rebelings, the only ones who knew the bridge, could build. And दोनों अभी एक तो गया. Father is dead and the son is almost half dead. Okay, he's on the bed, on the deathbed, you can say. In spite of this mishap, and the handicapped Washington was never discouraged, still had a burning desire to complete the bridge, and his mind was still as sharp as ever. He tried to inspire and pass on his enthusiasm to some of his friends, but they were too daunted by the task and rejected. As he lay down in his bed in the hospital with the sunlight streaming through the windows, a gentle breeze flew the flimsy white curtains apart, and he was able to see the sky and top of the tree outside for just a moment. It seemed that there was a message for him as not to give up. His morale was high. Suddenly, an idea hit him, and all he could do was to move a finger, and he decided to make the best out of it. By moving this, he slowly developed a code communication language with his wife. He touched his wife's arm with a finger and indicated her to do something. So he wants the wife to actually understand his code language. He used the same method of tapping his fingers to tell the engineers what to do. It seemed foolish initially, but the project was underway again. Almost for 13 years, Washington tapped out his instructions with his finger on his wife's arm until the bridge was finally completed. Any guess which this bridge is? Any guesses? The place I talked about is New York, Manhattan. Which is that bridge?
Oh, ma'am.
Brooklyn Bridge.
Okay.
This is the famous Brooklyn Bridge, and this is the real story behind it. Okay, so father died, son is on the deathbed, half dead, okay, with brain damage, but still his vigor and his consistent effort and his motivation, the morale keeping high, all these things have happened with his consistent efforts to actually achieve the dream, because he had set his goal accordingly. He was dreaming, rather he was living the father's dream, and he could achieve it as well. So today, the spectacular Brooklyn Bridge stands in all its glory as tribute to the triumph of one man's indomitable, strong spirit and his determination not to be defeated by circumstances. It is also a tribute to the triumph success of one man's indomitable spirit and his determination not to be defeated by circumstances. It is also a tribute to the engineers and their team's work and to their faith in man who was considered mad by half of the world. It stands too as a tangible monument to the love and devotion of his wife, who for those 13 long years patiently decoded the message of her husband and told the engineers what they should do. Here, friends, motivation we can define now, although it seems to be physiological or psychological or philosophical, I should say. Okay, but with the story and the motivational video, now you will understand the definition more precisely. It's a process which begins with physiological or psychological needs or deficiency, which triggers the behavior or drive that is aimed at a goal or an incentive. And you should understand that in an organization setup, how motivation acts. Basically, these are the three important aspects. That is, you need to keep a equilibrium between your wants and demands, your driving force and your satisfaction level. Okay, so basically, that motivation within you should energize your behavior. It should drive you crazy to achieve your goal. Okay, it should give you a compulsive pressure. It should actually sorry, it should actually give you that energy that will impact your behavior. It should direct your behavior. It should actually channelize your behavior. Okay, and basically it should sustain your behavior also. That is, that consistency and uh, that consistency for a by the time you achieve the goal is also important. I guess I'm running the time thing, so I'll just take, wait over here. If you have any questions, you can. Otherwise, we'll take it ahead tomorrow. Just take a snapshot of this motivation at organization.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can you please share the link, the videos which we have seen?
Okay, fine. In the chat box, immediately I'll share it. Actually, I've shared this to the common Google Drive. I'll just check why it is not shared with you all still. The earlier sessions also. It has been shared on the common Google Drive. You want this, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, dream should have goal. I want you all to see it. I'll paste it in the chat box. Before all the three links I am sharing, which two of it, two of them we have already seen. And before leaving for the day, I would again borrow 2 more minutes from the further faculty who would be taking the session, just because this has to be seen today so that we can end the session.
That meritocracy. But now upbringing very much here in India. I left India 35
Is it
years
audible?
ago, went on to the United States, and
Yes,
we
yes,
had
ma'am.
tremendous
Friends, is it audible?
Yeah.
that could have happened. I hadn't
After
had a
seeing this,
wonderful
I'll
upbringing
log off.
very much here in India. So I have a lot to thank India for. Now my 3 lessons I'd like to share with you. First, please be a lifelong student. You know, when we are kids, we ask questions like, why is the sky blue? Why is the bird flying so high? But for some reason, as we get older, that curiosity goes away. And if we are happy with the knowledge we have, then we are actually going to atrophy. So please remain a lifelong student. Don't lose that curiosity. Second, whatever you do, throw yourself into it. Throw your head, heart, and hands into it. I look at my job not as a job. I look at it as a calling, as a passion. And I don't care about the hours. I don't care about the hardship, because to me, everything is a joy. So whatever you do, please look upon it as a calling and a passion, not as a job, not as something temporary. The third and the most important one, please help others rise. Greatness comes not from a position, but from helping build the future. All of us in positions of power have an obligation to pull others up. You know, as I stand here today, I look at my responsibility not as accepting an honor. I look upon it as accepting a challenge and a responsibility, an obligation to actually make it possible for the people who are younger to come up and achieve levels of greatness so they too can be on the stage sometime in the future.
Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope it will help us motivate others also, and we ourselves should also be keep our morale high. Thank you so much. We'll meet tomorrow. Have a nice day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.